Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I'm going to be bringing back the buy or sell series. So it's actually been a long time since I have done this series. I have a playlist of my previous episodes I did. Themes usually for the buy or sell are usually anime or cartoon or fictional media related. Um, Mostly. I am going to start doing more of these episodes, but I will bring a little bit wrestling into it. I try to stay clear away from doing wrestling because this series was inspired by the original Buy or Sell, which was Sell Monster, who did do a wrestling themed series on the Buy or Sell. Basically, Buy or Sell is what am I gonna buy into for specific two topics. Um, or two instance of scenarios. That's kind of the buy or sell series and how it works. And I've done it a long time ago. But today we are starting up a new season of it, so to speak. Um, and we will occasionally bring some wrestling into it. I do like to focus on some of the other things as well. So this is the first topic of the new season that we're bringing in is about Stone Cold Steve Austin. Um, and so for this buy or sell, it is about talking about buy or sell if Stone Cold Steve Austin were to come back. Again, devil's advocate. If Stone Cold Steve Austin were to come back as a part-time wrestler, um, would he be cheered if they decided to put the world title on him? And this is a buy or sell. That is the buy or sell topic today. And in my personal opinion, and again, everybody in the comment section have their own opinions on this as well, on what they're buying and what they're selling here. So buy or sell, would Austin, if he came back, as a part-timer and he actually won the world title, like we've seen so many other part-time wrestlers come back and win a world title, would fans still cheer for Stone Cold Steve Austin, or would they turn on him? I am going to sell this, which probably might be a surprising answer for people. I am going to sell this and say that people would still cheer for Austin. And I know this is going to be crazy to say because so many people in this era that have come back as part-timers that won the title. We've seen Burt, The Rock came back and tried to insert himself into a world title match not too long ago, trying to take away Cody Rhodes' spot. So we've seen people that have come back, gotten title shots, gotten world title shots, and or become world champion, and they have gotten booed, even if they're a great Attitude Era star or a great wrestler that everyone had loved for a long time. We have always seen them get booed. Now, again, I just want to put this out here again. This is devil's advocate because I don't think Austin is ever coming back. I mean, he's 61 years old now. But this is just a scenario if he ever came back. Could even be not necessarily now. It could be like 10 years ago, like 2016 or something like that. Like, just basically in this whole, it's kind of weird thinking about it now because like 10 years ago was 2016. But, within these last 10 years, if he had come back, whether it be through Vince McMahon or through Endeavor, if Austin had come back and won the world title, would he have been cheered? Or would he have been booed? I'm sorry. We're buying is booing, selling is he's still cheering. He still gets cheered. And I'm selling on that I'm selling on the fact that he would not get booed. Buying is for he would get booed. Um, I'm selling on that because I do not think Stone Cold Steve Austin would get booed, even in these modern eras of wrestling. Because every time Austin has come back, he gets cheered. And we have perfect precedent for this because the one match he did come back for, where he main evented night one against Kevin Owens just a couple years ago, right? Or I guess it was 4 years ago now, but um, he was cheered. He was beloved. Everyone loved every second of it. It was like a time capsule, so to speak. And the reason why I think Austin would never get booed. I mean, there's perfect examples of this. His 2001 heel run that he had, where WWE tried to force him as a heel, after when he turned heel at WrestleMania 17. Um, Here's the thing: at WrestleMania 17, when he turned heel, people cheered for him, and this was and when Austin was being cheered after he turned heel, when he, attacked The Rock with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 17 and won the title, people forget that Austin was people thought Austin wasn't turning heel in that instant. People thought Vince McMahon was turning face. Like, that's how much people loved Stone Cold Steve Austin. People could not even blindly see through what was actually happening. And again, this was during the era where there was no social media, where there was no IWC to go on Twitter every second of the day and complain about the booking decisions. Okay? This was a different time period. Okay? This was a different time period, and people cheered for this guy, even through the weird 2001 invasion angle where they were having Austin do opposite things than he should be doing as his character. Okay, he was still getting cheered. Austin, that's how that people that are still too young or weren't alive during the Attitude Era, or just learning it through videotape or through, I guess, we're learning it through what's it called? Through the streams, through Peacock, well, not Peacock anymore, Netflix, WWE Network, whatever you'd seen it on. Since the network isn't around anymore, but you get the point. If you've seen Austin from those things, you don't really understand what Austin was because you didn't experience it live. You didn't experience it when I experienced it as a kid. So you can't really see the same atmosphere of what Austin stood for as a character, okay? And why people related to Austin the most. It wasn't necessarily because of the beer he drank or anything like that. It was the rebel. He was the rebel, going against the authority before the authority was a punchline, okay? And that's why everybody loved Austin. Now, Austin retired very prematurely. He retired in 2003 after he lost to The Rock at WrestleMania 19. Didn't make an announcement for it. They never put it in the storyline like you see in modern day wrestling, where you put your career on the line, or this is your last match if you lose. Austin never did any of that. He had a match. He had a banger with The Rock at WrestleMania 19. He lost. He put Rock over, and then he called it a day. There was no formal announcement for his retirement. There was nothing. And that's just how Stone Cold was. And I think because of the way Austin went about his retirement, and he went about it the way he did it, I think so many people have come to respect Austin even more because of the way he ended his career. It wasn't just this, we're going to do this flashy type ending and whatnot. No, I'm going to have one banger match and then that's it. And, I'll just leave, basically. because that's what Austin basically did. He got to be a general manager for a little bit. And we really got to see really the real retirement of Austin, really when he lost the Survivor Series team battle in 2003 when he was the general manager. That kind of a lot of people looked at as the real retirement for Austin because that was kind of when Austin stopped being like a full-time guy who would appear on television, because throughout the rest of 2003, while he wasn't wrestling, he was, on TV as like the general manager, co-general manager. So that's kind of how they saw him. Austin, if he were to have ever come back in the last 10 years, like a Goldberg or like a Lesnar or like a, whoever, basically coming back, I don't think he would get that same vibe because Austin didn't try to go to another organization to wrestle like a TNA, like Kurt Angle did. He didn't try to, somehow fight his way back to being a wrestler again. And quite frankly, I mean, Austin, he could have gone on and done a lot of things. I mean, I know he does his podcast now and stuff like that, but I'm talking about like right after he retired, officially, he didn't try to do what The Rock did and become like a Hollywood superstar, though he did get a couple of movie roles and he did very well at them. Okay. But he didn't try to do something else and try to like be something else. He always wanted to be a wrestler. And, he unfortunately had to retire way too soon because of the neck injury sustained from Owen Hart back in 97. But he never tried to like go on and do other things. Rock, when he came back, when Rock came back, to do the what's it called? To do the to be on the board and stuff like that for WWE. Well, I don't think Rock had any real bad intentions with doing that. He was offered to be a board member for WWE once they became TKO. Because Rock was so, the things that had just happened, with the failure of Black Adams, the whole idea that he wanted to kind of take charge of the DC universe or whatever. I think people looked at Rock in a different light because they were like, oh, well, the movie he tried to take over DC, it didn't work. And then right after, all of a sudden, he wants to be a board member for WWE. Now, there had been conversations for The Rock to come back for WWE for years. Just things fell through because they couldn't get the schedule properly down for, the movies that he was filming while, doing WrestleMania. So a lot of people looked at that and was like, and that's where I think the booing happened because of The Rock. He inserted himself into a match that they wanted to see Cody win, and he had just won the Rumble. I don't think you're going to see the same thing with Austin. Because everybody knows that Austin wasn't trying to become an actor, after his success in the ring. He had to do it because he was not able to wrestle anymore. So he did get a couple of roles and did very well at him, but he never tried to become like, I think Austin, if he really had committed to being an A-list actor like The Rock, I think he could have done it. But I don't think that's what Austin wanted to be. I don't think Austin wanted to be, some type of big time actor like The Rock was. That was not his thing. So if he had ever come back and won the Universal title or the WWE Championship, I think he could have very easily won it and still gotten cheered. Because of the way Austin's character was and the way he was booked, and the way, he ended his career. I don't think people would have looked Austin differently compared to the other guys like Goldberg or Brock, Um, you know, so that's kind of what I'm saying. So I'm selling on that. I don't think Austin would get booed if he'd come back as being the world champion. The only problem I would really have is him wearing that stupid blue or red Universal title, because that would have been the title he had, or the black one with the logo, or the gold one that you have now for the WWE Championship. Those are the things I wouldn't have liked. I hate that design. I hate it with any of the older guys wearing it because it just doesn't look right. Austin wearing the smoking skull belt, or the iconic Big Eagle Attitude Era title, which you see on screen right here. That to me is the best world title in the history of the business. The Big Eagle Attitude Era title was the greatest world title championship design I've ever seen. Still to this day, nothing ever tops it, including the Winged Eagle. The Winged Eagle is too small of a title design, in my opinion. I know a lot of people love the Winged Eagle. I think Winged Eagle is very overrated as a belt design. Not necessarily as belt design. I'm sorry. Not Winged Eagle is a good title design. It's just that it's too small. It's overrated because it's too small. It was the same size as the Intercontinental title, and the world title should never be the same size as the Intercontinental title. And the Winged Eagle was pretty much the same size as the Intercontinental title, and that's why I never was that big of a wing. I prefer the Winged Eagle over the current title. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, if it was between that title and the Winged Eagle, absolutely I'd take the Winged Eagle. Absolutely take the Winged Eagle, because the design was great. It's just that the fucking title was too small. Like that title, like you put that, for example, like when Yokozuna won that Winged Eagle title, man, like it looked like crap on Yokozuna. Like, freaking. That's my point about that. That's another topic for another day. But yeah, that would be my only issue is Austin having to wear one of those stupid WW blue leather or red leather titles, or the black leather title, or the gold leather title that looks just like crap and garbage. That would be the only thing that I don't like about it. Austin bringing back the Smoking Skull title would be great. He's like, screw this shit. John Cena freaking somehow made the spinner belt a freaking tournament title when that was just supposed to be a custom title originally. Man, let's bring back the Smoking Skull belt, bro. Bring back the Smoking Skull belt. But yeah. I'm selling it. I don't think he would get booed. Again, this is all hypothetical. But I'd love to know what people think on this. Make sure to comment, rate. If you like this video or my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for the latest contents. Thank you. And as about, guys, I am the S Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Peace.